Yo, hello guys, my name is goyxrd from No Agony, and today I'm going to show you guys how to make a Pluggnb beat that sounds like this. Alright, in this tutorial I'm going to show you guys how I made the melody, drums, and the presets I used and the mixing presets I used. So let's get started. Okay, so for the first part, we're going to go with the piano. This is the Delicate EP from JV1080, and the piano sounds like this. So this piano is layered with two more pianos, also from JV1080. The first one is the nice piano from JV1080, which is right here. The nylon piano from JV1080, which is right here. And the three pianos all together sound like this. As for the mixing presets of the pianos, I use the gold piano preset from the Pluggnb kit. As of the mixing presets, I use the gold piano from Pluggnb's kit, and the mixing presets use reverb and EQ. Okay, for the next part, we have the lead, probably the most important thing in a Pluggnb beat. So I'm gonna show you guys how this lead sounds like. This lead is called the Simple Sign from Purity. It's mixed with a reverb and an EQ. Okay, so for the next part, we have another lead that's also from Purity, and it's called the PW for President, and it sounds like this. Okay, so this lead is mixed with a string preset because I wanted to add like a more reverb feel to it. Okay, so for the next part, we have another lead that's also from Purity, and it's called the Simple Pulse lead, and the lead sounds like this. Okay, so this lead is actually edited with this preset right here. You guys can copy it. I'm gonna show you guys what it sounds like without the preset. So this is the lead without being edited. You can hear that the lead muffles and it lowers its volume. What you want to do is go to the edit section right here, scroll that up, and do this right here. So that should get rid of the muffle. Also, the mixing of the Simple Pulse lead, I usually do a delay and a low filter. For this situation, I removed the low filter because it didn't sound that good. As with the leads, you guys want to have like one or two leads in your beats because it gets really repetitive with only one lead. So yeah, make sure that you have more than one lead. Okay, so for the next part, we have the bass. It's also from Purity, and I think it's called the NA bass guitar. It's in bass and guitars right here, and it sounds like this. We have the bells up next. They sound like this. These bells are called the pretty bells from JV1080. If you don't have a JV1080, you can always use the XV5080, which it also has its bells. They're right here. It's the same placement for the JV1080 and the XV5080 plugin. You can use the pretty bells. So these bells are mixed with a reverb and an EQ, and that's about it. For the next part, we have the HARP thingies. So these add a little bit more tempo to the beat, and they sound like this. These are from Xenology. You can just search up their name. I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry, but it's in Xenology. As of the mixing, I use a string preset with an EQ and this thing. For the next part, we have the PIZZICAto strings from Expand, and they sound like this. Alright, these are from Expand, like I said, they are right here from strings, and they're called the PIZZICAto house strings. You can also use the big Piz strings, they're also really good, I use them a lot. And yeah, that's about it. As of the mixing, I use a string preset too. Okay, for the next part, we have a background lead. This lead is from Purity, and it's called the Desolate Solo. Shout out to 1.5 for the lead. It sounds like this. So this lead is like a background lead. It usually plays when the other leads are not playing, or it just adds more to the melody. I usually don't mix the Desolate Solo lead, but if you guys want to mix it, it's up to you. Alright, so for the next part, we have the string. So these strings are called the Vienna strings 1 from Purity. I use them in almost every beat I make, and they sound like this. So these strings are obviously mixed with a string preset, a simple EQ, and this thing right here. As of the strings, I cannot say really much about them, but if you guys wanna do this like a normal string, but if you want, you can just do a little melody like from here, so you can just bring it back up, but that's up to you. I like them that way. As of the next part, we have another background lead, which is from Purity, and it's the YVA lead, and the lead sounds like this. Okay, so this lead is obviously heavy edited and with a bunch of presets. So you can do this, like drag it to the left. You can drag that to the left too, but it's not gonna sound that good. Just play around with it. You can figure it out really easily. As for the mixing of this, a LUT filter, a delay, and an EQ is used for this lead. Without the mixing, it sounds really ass and sounds like this. And for the final part of the melody, we have the guitar. The guitar is from Expand, and it's called the triple attack. Usually, this is the guitar I go for every time. It's pretty good. It's in the right here in the guitars, and it's on number 40. And the guitar sounds like this. Pretty simple melody, just go with the piano. The guitar is mixed with these two plugins right here. Nothing really going on with the guitar. Okay, so the full melody should sound like this. As of the drums, we have a simple hi-hat pattern. I suggest that you guys make your hats bouncy, so it adds more to the beat. You can also do these type of hi-hats. They're also good. I suggest that if it doesn't sound really good to you guys, you shouldn't have to do this. You can do your normal hi-hats, okay? It's a beat after all. Okay, so we go to the clap. I make my claps always bouncy, and the clap sounds like this. For the next part, we have a crash. That's called the xangang crash. Pretty straightforward. Okay, so for the next thing, we have a tilting triangle. You have probably heard this a lot in Pluggnb beats. I usually put a delay 3 on it with the temp on half and the wetness on 50%. Okay, for the next part, we have a delayed snare. Just add more to the drums. Okay, so for the next part, we have the snares. I suggest that you go off with the claps and play around with the snares. I hope you guys understand that you have to make them bouncy for the drums to sound bouncy. We have another snare right here, mini snare roll. You can play around with the velocity. As of the 808s, do this all the time. You max out the hold and remove everything else. Remove use loop points. Make sure that you are in the right key. If you're beginning with the 808s, pull out the piano and go off with the bottom notes. If you're more advanced, I suggest that you make a little melody with it. Another tip that I can give for the 808s is that you change up second pattern so it doesn't sound boring and repetitive again. The chants. So this repeats every third bar like this. I max out the hold, remove everything else. And that's about it with the drums. The full drum pattern sounds like this. For the effects, I usually go with the standard stuff. I have the xangang editing, a wind chime, we have a transition, the startup. I'll show you guys how to make this thing. it sounds better off with the intro. So you go to the master and add the low filter. Click on this and create an animation clip. Make sure to use a simple triangle low pass preset. When you guys put it, it's gonna look somewhat like this. Make sure to drag it down and line it up so it sounds nice. That's pretty much the beat, guys. If you guys liked this tutorial, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell us what you want to see next. We read all of your comments. And by the way, if you guys want loops like this melody right here, you can also go to our main channel that has free loops every Sunday. I don't know what you guys are doing, like get the loops. They're free, they're nice, and yeah, that's about it. I'm off.